Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, November 7th. A couple of cold frontal systems this week in the Mid-Atlantic region. The first one will arrive on Wednesday, likely bringing some shower activity to the I-95 corridor. Chilly air Wednesday night into Thursday. That'll lift out rather quickly. We'll get milder again on Friday ahead of the next frontal system. That'll be a stronger cold frontal system. In fact, it'll usher in the coldest air of the season so far for Friday night, Saturday night. It's quite likely it'll be windy on Saturday. High temperatures confined to the 40s in much of the I-95 corridor, and overnight lows Saturday night into Sunday morning could actually drop into the 20s in many parts of the I-95 corridor for the first time this year. That cold air mass lifts out rather quickly as well, and we get a little bit milder again by the early part of next week. Then by the middle of next week, it looks like a more permanent, deep upper level trough will set up in the south central U.S., and that'll bring about a more sustained pattern of colder than normal temperatures to much of the eastern U.S. Let's start off by looking at last night's ensemble run of the European computer forecast model. We're looking at 500 millibar height anomalies to give some sense of the first of all, the transient nature of the pattern over the next 7 days or so, but then by about 10 days out, we get a deep trough setting up in the south central part of the U.S. This is the forecast map for this evening. Orange here represents higher pressure than normal, and we're setting ourselves up for a warmer than normal day on Tuesday after a relatively chilly start today to start the new work week. Let's now jump ahead to the 48-hour forecast map. Notice here a vigorous upper level low here setting up over the Great Lakes. This is indicative of the first frontal system, the one that arrives here on Wednesday. This is a cold frontal system. We have our best chance, perhaps our only chance of showers on Wednesday of this week associated with this upper level feature in a surface cold frontal system. Let's jump ahead another 24 hours. On Wednesday night and Thursday, blues showing up here in the I-95 corridor. Lower pressure than normal and colder than normal conditions on Thursday. Not anything too unusual. Probably the middle 50s for highs. Right now the normal high for Philadelphia is about 60 degrees, so we'll be a little bit below normal today, get it warmer than normal tomorrow, and then a little bit colder than normal again Wednesday night and Thursday. Let's go out another 24 hours. That cold shot lifts out rather quickly. We get a little milder again at the end of the work week, but that's ahead of the stronger cold frontal system. Let's go out now. Notice the deep upper level trough here over New England, the northeastern U.S. by Friday night. This is when the coldest air of the season so far arrives Friday night. It'll be associated with some strong winds as well out of the north and northwest. We go ahead another 24 hours. Still cold here in the early part of the weekend. Notice, however, it's already starting to get higher pressure than normal, just on its heels. Again, a transient pattern here. Very cold Friday night, Saturday night, but by Sunday and Monday we start to get milder again. Let's go out another 24 hours. This is now the early part of next week. Some oranges showing up here, higher pressure than normal, probably warmer than normal temperatures. Let's go out another 24 hours. Now we're the early part of next week, about a week from now. Notice here a pretty deep upper level low indicated by the blues here setting up in the south central U.S. Again, this is using last night's European model run. We go out another 24 hours. It deepens even more widespread here. And finally, 10 days out, this is a 10-day forecast from last night's European model run. Quite a vigorous looking, a longer lasting looking upper level trough here in the south central U.S., setting us up for colder than normal temperatures in much of the eastern U.S. by the middle part of next week. Well, let's now get back to focusing on the short term. This is using last night's 0Z GFS model run. We'll look at 24-hour increment forecast maps. This is for this evening, Monday evening. We'll go all the way to Friday evening. Strong high pressure in control here. A chilly start to the day. Temperatures right now in the 30s in many of the suburban locations. High temperatures in the mid to upper 50s for the most part this afternoon, maybe flirting with the 60-degree mark in the DC metro region. Let's now go out another 24 hours. By tomorrow night, Tuesday night, will turn milder as that high pressure moves to the east coast. A little bit of a low-level southwesterly flow developing. Tomorrow afternoon, temperatures well up in the 60s. Notice here some shower activity indicated here by the greens associated with that first frontal system that arrives here on Wednesday. And here's the forecast map for Wednesday evening. Some showers in the I-95 corridor. I do not expect a heavy rain event. Some showers, and it may be the only time this week where we'll experience some shower activity. This is associated with that first cold frontal system. Gets cooler again Wednesday night and Thursday, below normal temperatures on Thursday. And here's the forecast map for Thursday evening. High pressure moving into the northeastern U.S. Again, a transient pattern. That colder air doesn't last too long. By the time Friday comes around, we'll be looking west to this next cold frontal system, and we'll get a little bit milder again ahead of that next stronger cold frontal system. The day on Friday, high temperatures back to about 60 degrees, warmer than Thursday will be, but colder air mass, the coldest air of the season so far, will be on our doorsteps as we roll into the day on Friday. In fact, let's jump ahead to the Friday evening forecast map. And here we go. By Friday evening, notice this strong pressure gradient setting up in the northeastern part of the country. We'll have a strong cold frontal passage during the day on Friday, perhaps on the dry side, not necessarily going to produce showers. And then Friday night and Saturday, strong winds out of the northwest, the coldest air of the season so far. Again, high temperatures on Saturday, likely confined to the 40s, may even drop into the upper 20s Saturday night in parts of the I-95 corridor. Again, this cold shot will be transient. We'll get a little bit milder again by the early part of next week, maybe Monday into Tuesday. But then, by the middle part of next week, strong, deep, upper-level low will start to set up in the south-central U.S., and we'll get colder again in much of the eastern part of the nation. So that's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.